Hello everyone. Edgar Schein, the notable author on organizational culture, noted that all his important life lessons stem from recognizing that those from other cultures view things different. I like to think of this simple yet profound statement as encapsulating the theme of Module 1 as we began our overview of cultural intelligence. According to Livermore, according to our Livermore text, cultural intelligence, or CQ, is broadly defined as the capability to function effectively in a variety of cultural contexts. What this means practically is that it is not enough just to be aware of the nuances of human difference, but rather to understand that there are other components such as the willingness to grow, learn, adapt, think, and behave culturally. Now, CQ is broken down into 4 specific domains, or what he calls capabilities: drive, knowledge, strategy, and action, each of which is further divided into 2 or 3 subdimensions. Over the course of the next few weeks, we'll explore each capability and its component subdimensions. But for now, what is important is that we first understand the importance of cultural intelligence on leadership. Our reading explored what necessitates this importance for leaders, and the reasons included the diversity of the markets and workforce, the ability to retain talent, and a case based on economics. Now, while all of these are valid reasons, the focus of this week was about the importance of CQ in your particular context, and that was the impetus behind our discussion thread. You focused on your own initial assessment of CQ and how this idea would personally benefit you. I appreciated how introspective the responses were, and that many of you already have been exposed to various approaches to this subject, whether it was a mandatory cultural training or a system-wide response to social shifts. I'm pleased to know that this class has both a strong drive and experience already. You who came from educational backgrounds often mention the rapidly changing student demographics shaping our schools, while others from more corporate type environments mention the effects of globalization and the impact on the organizational culture. What I also appreciated about your interactions in the discussion thread were that you thought through, using good support from the research, what some of the effect all this has on leadership. I like to encourage students to keep the issue of leadership at the forefront. For this class, as we continue on, what does this look like from a leader's perspective? And knowing what you know now about various leadership theories, how do those leadership theories intersect with concepts in cultural intelligence? This is important because we'll do this in future modules, but I want you to be comfortable with this idea of synthesis. That is, putting ideas together and crafting a new thought or concept. Of course, I ultimately want to see this in your writing, beginning with the discussions and on to your assignments. I'm sure by now you also see that I like to ask questions that probe and push you towards application in some of my responses to your initial post. This is deliberate, and while we can go back and forth with conceptual ideas, and we will do that as well, what is important to me is that you've thought through your posts with clarity, brevity, and for lack of a better word, creativity. To me, this means good analytical writing and being able to piece together ideas and taking the discussion to a whole new level. I cannot underscore enough the importance of using research to support your claims, and all of you demonstrated good work in that regard. Of course, many of you are coming from the leadership theories class, so do refer back to some of the lessons you learned in writing from that time. I'm also pleased with the level of interaction that I see with each other, as my hope is that discussions take a more conversational-like tone to them. In the next module, we'll turn our attention to 4 distinct strategies or dimensions that can be used to improve CQ. To begin with, we will examine drive and knowledge. In essence, we will explore one's willingness and motivation to relate cross-culturally, as well as the extent one understands the role of culture in how people think and behave. For that module, as we have done in this week, we'll have a discussion forum as well as your first assignment, which will be to write about your take on the cultural intelligence assessment. This first assignment is an assessment paper, and remember that it is in essence your summary and analysis of the CQ assessment. So please be sure to take the assessment if you have not already. You'll find instructions on an announcement, and those instructions will walk you through what to do for that. I'll have more on your first paper in an announcement next week, but for now, please continue your good work on the discussion thread throughout the weekend, and don't hesitate to contact me if you have any questions or comments. That's all for now, and I'll see you all online.